Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching and Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channels. This is the NWA Crockett Cup deal for the 19th of March 2022. First in two-night series of tournaments. First time since 2019. Returned, and it's a pay-per-view concept. Winners will take on the current number one seed. Law Rebellion Saturday, and a bunch of first-round matches are here. Majority of Sunday's pay-per-view lineup will make up 6 title matches in addition to the competition in the tournament. The pre-show was on YouTube at 7 p.m. Tim Storm and Joe Galli on commentary. Magic Jake Dumas defeating Captain Yuma. Magic Dumas defeats Yuma in singles competition. Basically, Dumas using an unlit cigarette and starts dancing from his mouth. He begins a magic trick. Yuma is watching. He punches him in the face. Yuma eventually gets a comeback and lands a jawbreaker drop kick and a knee and a big leg lariat. Goes for the finish. Dumas counters into the Avacania and winning there. The Tate twins, Brandon and Brent, defeat Violence is Forever, Dominic Garrini and Kevin Koo. The Rip City Shooters, Joshua Bishop and Wes Bakley, and the Heat Seekers, Elliot Russell and Simona, in a tournament play-in match. Each team had one member of the match in all situations. They'd go on to face Law Rebellion in the first round of the Crockett Cup. I don't particularly like this concept in that it just seems, like a struggle. Anyway, they finish the match. Garrini has Brent Tate locked in the rear naked chokehold, but Brandon comes in and hits a splash on top. The move squashes his brother as well, and doesn't exactly come out well. I'm not a fan of this in the sense that Dominic Garrini could be used better, having been on MLW TV, and just ultimately I think there's more they could have done. Briscoes, Jay and Mark defeat the Now, Hale Collins, and Vic DeLasis. Anyway, Briscoes on the pre-show is interesting, but they do end up moving forward. Briscoes' history in Crockett Cup is brought up. They make it to the semifinals in 2019 before losing to PCO and Brody King. Doesn't take long for the Briscoes to take control of the match. They begin working over Collins with quick tags and double team maneuvers. And then there's a shot on Jay from the ring apron, and allowing Collins enough times to make the tag. They now begin working on Jay Briscoe quick tags, and then Collins hits a spine buster on Jay and tags Collins in, who misses an elbow drop from the top. Jay then makes the hot tag into Mark, and they cleaned house. Jay ends up sending Collins to the outside with a head scissors. Mark then hits him with a pendulum dropkick before both turn their attention to the legal man. Jay gives Dallas a neck breaker, and Mark comes off the top with the frog splash. Match. Jay gets on the mic and said, 1 down, 3 to go. He said nobody is at their level, and they're about to prove it. Pay-per-view portion of the card opens with a graphic honoring Scott Hall, which I think was classy. Crockett Cup trophy is brought out and placed on the podium. May Valentine, worst part of the show. Then accompanied David Crockett as he walked out, stands next to the trophy, and he'll present it to the winning team. J.R. Curtis has not arrived at the building. Aaron Stevens is apparently frantically searching for a replacement partner, and that is not going the way he plans. Luke Hawk, and PJ Hawk defeat the End, Odinson and Paro, in a first-round match. I'm not a fan of this. It's noted on commentary, Odinson and Paro have not been seeing eye to eye as of late. They begin to argue about who'd start the match. PJ takes Odinson out early. Odinson then lands as a vertical suplex. Paro manages to tag in. Luke tags in and gets an advantage on Paro until Odinson reaches in from the apron, gives him a neck breaker across the top rope, and isolates Luke for a period of time. Odinson hits a belly suplex and then picks up his partner, dropping him on top of Luke, and then gets a near fall after not getting anything early. but the end are working together well from here. Luke ends up giving Paro a razor's edge, which gets a huge reaction from the fans. Then he makes a hot tag to his son, landing a bunch of clothesline suplex. Odinson then goes for 2 count in the end, battling back and locked on to give his father-son tag team Super Collider, but PJ continued counters a head scissors and sends Odinson into Paro. Then they get a 2 count and a double backbreaker moments later, following the PJ counted an airplane spin on Odinson into a pinning combination and getting a 3 count. After the match, the End attacked Hawks Paro, giving Luke a powerbomb, and then the End entered the ring. Billy Corgan is interviewed in the back. He talks about the history of the Crockett Cup and David Crockett being there. Corgan also wondered what version of Jeff Jarrett would be the referee in the match between Aldis and Cardona. Anyway, the Candons, VSK, and Mike Knox defeats Matthew Mims and the Pope in a first-round match. Not a fan of this either. VSK hits a head scissors on the Pope early. Pope lands, on his head. He seems to be okay after that. Mims and Pope end up isolating VSK early. Mims then gets a 2 count after a power slam. Spinebuster is hit moments later. Knox still hasn't gotten into the match at this point. Runs in, hammers Mims from behind. This allows VSK to finally tag out. Knox then goes after Mims for a little bit of time. Knox and VSK continues to work on Mims with a bunch of tags. Finally make a tag into the Pope, hitting a power slam on VSK and hammers Knox with a bunch of strikes. Luke Hawx may not be able to continue in the tournament, is noted on commentary. Mims and the Pope hit VSK with a Doomsday Device, but Knox breaks up the pin. Pope then clothesline Knox out of the ring, but Knox then would toss him into the ring post moments later, and then get a splash for the win. They'll go on to face the Fixers in the next round. Camille is interviewed by Kyle Davis. She accuses Chelsea Green of playing politics to get into the match. She said she'll only ever be a one-time champ because she's never losing the championship. Then it's announced on commentary PJ Hawks has plans to wrestle next round by himself in a handicap match. Dirty Sexy Boys, Dango, and JTG defeats Aaron Stevens and the Blue Meanie of all people. Commentary notes that Curtis has still not shown up. Stevens comes out and comes down announcing his replacement partner, Blue Meanie. Meanie does a few Scott Hall poses and flicks a toothpick at the camera before heading to the ring. Match starts with Meanie removing Curtis's robe at the same time. JT removed Dango's jacket, and off we go. Stevens comes in aggressive, but Dango hits him with a back body drop and a bunch of punches, and then an arm drag. Stevens then bails to the outside, and ultimately, finally, after he gets in and tags into Meanie then at one point backed JTG into the corner, giving him the tickle attack. JTG then reverses it and tucks Meanie into the stomach, and then anyway, eventually Meanie and Stevens have Dango isolated, and they work him over with quick tags. Dango then gets put to the boot up, and Stevens comes off the top and then gets cradled in his opponent for a 2 count. Dango then makes a hot tag to JTG, who takes him out, both members of the opposing team. Blue Meanie fights back with a series of jabs and avalanches on JTG in the corner. Meanie then misses another charge into the corner. Dango crouched beneath him. JTG gives him a drop kick and then pins him, picking up the win for his team. Gold Rush, Jordan Clearwater, and Marcy Rockette with Black Jeeves and Tyrus defeating Strictly Business, Tom Blackmare, Chris Adonis in the first round. Probably the worst match on the card. Tyrus joined Kyle Davis at the interview podium and gives a introduction speech for Jordan Clearwater, who then takes off his robe. Anyway, Clearwater gives a jawbreaker to Adonis and then makes a hot tag to Rocket, who cleans house. Adonis then locks on the Master Lock moments later, then tosses Adonis into the ring post, and Clearwater hits Latmer with Tyrus' title belt and then picks up the win. Anyway, the fixers are interviewed by May Valentine in the back. Wrecking Ball tried to call out Sting and Great Muta, but explained to him that they're not in the tournament this year. Commonwealth Connection, Doug Williams and Harry Smith defeat the Ill Bennington, Rush Freeman, and Alex Taylor first round match. The Ill Begotten could have been any of their 4 members in the match. Captain Yuma comes out and assumes he's in the match, but Danny Deals doesn't seem to make that happen. Smith and Williams attacked the Bennington before the bell and controls the match. In the early moments, Smith hits Freeman with a big suplex and some strikes before tagging out. Williams Freeman lands a throat thrust on Williams shortly after making the tag out to Taylor. Puckett pulls Smith out of the apron, but Smith then turns around and lands a strong forearm after Captain Yuma, and then came out with an upset. Puckett finally getting involved, and Puckett attacks him. This doesn't go well. Smith almost gets a back body drop Taylor through the roof at one point and power slams and a salto suplex for near fall. Smith then goes for running power slam and tags out to William. Williams gives the rocket launcher, lands Taylor, and gets a headbutt for a win. They'll go on to the next round. Lava Rebellion, Beast of 666, and Mecha Wolf defeat the Tate Twins in a first-round match. Lava Rebellion comes out with the original NWA Tag Team Championships, which has been brought to the building by David Crockett. The Twins actually get an early advantage, although it doesn't last very long. Mecha takes out Brent with chops and other strikes, then makes blind tag into the Twins. Regaining control, they continue to work on Mecha with quick tags. Mecha then fakes going to shake Brent's hand and fakes him out. Goes back on offense. Lava Rebellion continues to work over Brent with a bunch of quick tags themselves. Brendan then comes in, hot tag, takes out both of the champions, hitting stereo punches onto the tag champs. Then they hit the Space Jam on Mecha, but Beasta makes the save. And then Lava Rebellion hits the Mark of the Beast on Brent to getting the victory here. Anyway, so Mike Knox and BSK were interviewed by May Valentine in the back. Knox said that he's not an evil man, and expressed concern for the Pope. He tells the focus on the fixers is dumb. VSK said Matt Cardona is here to save the NWA, and him and Mike are going to take the NWA Tag Division. Cardona's Mike Knox and VSK defeat the fixers Jay Bradley and Wrecking Ball Legursky in quarterfinal match. Wrecking Ball brings out Serial, and he attempts to pour into the Crock Cup trophy. Fixers attack just as the match begins. VSK takes a decent beating before landing head scissors on Bradley, making a hot tag to Wrecking Ball, cutting him off. The Fixers then go for the double suplex, but Knox comes out and hit a chop block on Bradley. Wrecking Ball then goes to the top and misses. Vader Bomb after Knox pulled VSK out of the way. Knox then tags back in and hits a flatliner on Legursky. VSK tags in and hits a frog splash off the top in 3 count. With that, the Cardona family is off to the semifinals. Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe defeat the Dirty Sexy Boys, Dango and JTG, in quarterfinal match. Dango and Mark start the contest with a little bit of grappling. Match spills to the floor. 2 teams brawl around ringside. Mark then brings out a chair, but then gets used springboard off and his diving attack on the outside. They get back in the ring. Dango hits Mark with a big boot. Dirty Sexy Boys then isolates Mark for a period of time. JTG gets a near fall. Mark then ends up locking JTG in a Muda lock for the second Great Muda reference of the night. Dango eventually makes the hot tag, takes out both Briscoes, hits an air raid crash DDT combo on both Briscoes, follows up with a diving attack to the outside, but comes up favoring his knee. Back in the ring, Mark turns things around on JTG before him and Jay lands some offense there, breaking up the pin. However, moments later, Jay hits Jay Driller on JTG. Mark comes off the top with the Froggy Bow to win. They'll move on to the next round. Black Jeeves and Tyrus are interviewed in the back. They said Gold Rush is going to win Crockett Cup. They said Tyrus and Clearwater Rocket are in the back getting ready. Tyrus then said he's confident about his match tomorrow against Rodney Mack. He continued to say he respects Mack and pains himself to do what he's got to do here. La Rebellion defeating PJ Hawk in a quarterfinal match here. PJ Hawk comes out solo. His father Luke is injured following the attack by the end. PJ then gets early offense in but doesn't get very well. Tag champs work him over and make quick tags, double team maneuvers, and 2-on-1 is there. PJ lost, but his continue is pretty well here. Then we go to Commonwealth Connection, Doug Williams, Harry Smith defeating Gold Rush, Jordan Clearwater, and Marshy Rockette in a quarterfinal. Tyrus gets on the mic before the match and says it's time to separate the champs from the chumps. Smith and Clearwater grappled to start the match. Smith begins focusing on Clearwater early, and everything Smith does is just crisp and aggressive. Smith has everything going his way until Rockette hits him with a chop block. Clearwater then takes his leg out around the ring post a bunch of times. Smith then hits an enziguri, makes a bunch of hot tags into Williams, hits an exploder suplex for a 2 count. Williams then hits a tiger driver for another near fall. Smith then hits Clearwater with a power slam, and Williams hits a senton for the near fall. Clearwater then hits a running neck breaker on Williams for the 2 count. Williams hits him with a pile driver, and moments later he gets his own 2 count and then locks on an armbar. Clearwater taps him out with the semifinals, and the tournament's set into night 2 of the 2002 Crockett Cup. Kyle Davis is at the interview podium, brings La Rebellion, and Mecca said they may have underestimated some of the teams in the tournament, and they definitely did with Hawks. The bottom line is that they walked away winners. William Corgan joins the commentary team and spoke with Joe Galley for the remainder of the show. He praised many of the tag teams in the tournament, said he's a big fan of the Briscoes in particular, and they closed the show. The second half or second pay-per-view will take place this evening. We'll be back with more right after this.